Wanted to ask you, when you're looking at kind of like the future of Colombia, the future of Medellin, I want to ask you two questions.
Yeah.
What do you think is the number one thing that we need here to change to really become a global player in that global scene as a city? And number two, what do you think is like the direction that we're headed here?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing that would change the city is a lot of people would say safety, but I don't think, I think it's safe enough. I mean, most people will argue that Medellin is safer than a lot of big cities like Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit in the United States. The stats will back that up. But so safety is not a huge issue anymore. I think what really would help Colombia as a whole, the whole country, but Medellin particularly as well, is the disparity between the poverty and the haves and the have-nots. So poverty level has to be something to be dealt with, whether it's starting with education, starting with social programs, starting with kids programs, and starting with job opportunity programs for those that are less fortunate or those in lower stratus neighborhoods. um, if those programs move into there, uh, they will have more options for work, more options to make more money, learning how to manage money. I mean, even in the United States, no one teaches that in school, let alone in a school in a developing nation like Colombia, where they don't teach you how to manage your finances because they're just trying to teach you to become a worker of some sort. So I think those ground level changes would help within the next 20 years of development in Colombia, because poverty is still high here. You still have a high poverty level, and poverty usually begats crime, and that's where that safety issue comes. And not only that, but it begats weak infrastructure because when you're poor, you don't really care about an infrastructure. You just want your next meal, et cetera. So I think that's what Colombia needs to tackle, just like any other developing country should tackle. And where I see Colombia and Medellin going in the future, I mean, next year we have a new president coming on board. Right now, we have a very left-leaning president, which has been interesting. A lot of people were worried and concerned, especially international. Colombians, we don't worry because most Colombians have lived the same type of life that they had before the last president. This president is basically the same thing. You go to work, you got to pay your bills. Inflation's still 10%. Unemployment rate has decreased. Safety has increased. So there's some positive changes at the same time, but you still have to live your day-to-day life and work, et cetera. It hasn't changed much, even though he is a left-leaning president. Um, the things that have changed a lot have been like international policies, and I think that's what will change next year when we have a new president under his term of 4 years. I think it's going to be more conservative president, someone that's going to focus more on the economy, more on capitalism, on trade, foreign policy, et cetera. So I'm assuming that it's going to be better for the country and better for the economy. But again, I don't know what those people are going to do for the infrastructure as far as education, social service projects for kids and underprivileged people down here. So I hope it's good, but I don't know what that will be like. So, in my opinion, I think it's going to be the same. I mean, a steady growth, as far as tourism, expats coming down here, safety getting a little bit better year after year, inflation decreasing by like 0.5% over year. It's still at 10%,
Yeah.
9% inflation across the board. And I think it'll continue that way. I don't see major revolution and change right now, but I don't think Colombia needs a revolution really. What they need is more opportunity, more work, more education, et cetera.